the video.
Cool.
Yes, I think that I understood.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. That's cool. That's super important because we are working with transitives and intransitives in order to know what what verbs need connectors and what verbs you don't need connectors,
Mm-hmm.
right?
What verb worked like a bridge? Bridge.
Yes. What verbs
So,
work like a bridge? What verbs don't? The verbs that need a bridge.
mhm. But
Okay?
the most common verbs are intransitive, or it's it's similar. Huh? Maybe the transitive verbs uh, are not like um, difficult verbs or strange verbs. It's common, no? It's a common topic, a common verb.
Verbs.
What? Sorry.
What is the common topic? I didn't understand that.
And talk about transitive verbs is so common because we use these verbs all the time,
Oh,
but we are learning to use correctly
exactly.
this. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, the problem with transitive and intransitive is that it's everyday vocabulary, but we commit a lot of mistakes, very common mistakes, because we don't consider the the quality transitive and intransitive. This specific topic avoids mistakes. You know,
Okay.
it avoids mistakes, and that
Okay.
helps.
Okay. Perfect.
So So we're gonna use some other examples, and you're gonna tell me if they're transitive or not. Okay? So let's go through. Bridge. There we go. Check this word and tell me this one. Transitive or intransitive, Yamil, and why?
Mm, I think that intransitive
Mm-hmm.
because it has a connector on
Nice.
the connector on
The connector on, connecting.
the verb light with
Okay.
the noun the grass.
Exactly. You are correct. Precisely. What about this one? Actually, Emil, by the way, you are going to be the only one because Roxy's here, but she's in the meeting, so she won't be able to.
Okay, so in this case, I need to to put attention.
To
Just
pay
kidding.
attention.
Pay attention. Stupid.
Now you need to pay more attention.
Okay, pay attention. Okay, is intransitive. Bueno, I think it's intransitive mm, because we use on.
Oh, surprise.
No,
In,
however, happened. Uh,
I mean,
oh, sorry.
you
I
are
was sorry.
40% correct. It is intransitive, but it's not connecting anything. The expression on the highway is telling me where it happened, but it's not connecting anything.
Mm,
You see?
no, I can't understand this part. This part. An accident happened. Why is not connecting?
It's not connecting anything. The word on is saying where it happened. Similar to
Uh
this
huh.
one. This on the grass is saying
Yes.
where she lied.
Uh huh.
So technically, it is intransitive because you don't need to connect nouns. An intransitive verb can go by itself too.
Okay.
You see? If
Yeah.
you eliminate on the highway like this, is the idea complete or incomplete?
Is complete.
It's complete. Uh-huh. So intransitive means that it doesn't depend on more information.
Ah, yes. Okay. I understood this. So this was a question that I had,
Okay.
because in the past when we learned about transitive verbs, I remember that the characteristic of these verbs is that transitive need um, to subject next to the verb.
Object, not subject.
Object, sorry. So yes, object next to the verb, but and the other one, I in this case the intransitive, um, could um, work without object next to the verb. Okay,
Exactly.
this I understood transitive for this reason, but in this past class, I learned the other things that, so you could use an object, but you need to uh, to put an
To connect it.
connector. Yes.
You need to connect
Okay.
it, exactly. Like,
Okay.
so the intransitive verb works by itself, but if you need the noun, you can connect it. Let's say that you need an adapter,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
That's the way it works.
Perfect.
Transitive versus intransitive. Okay. Okay, try one more. Jamil.
Okay. This is transitive.
How do you know that?
Um. So in this case, if we said we found, we need to tell what we found, but found is the bridge with um what is the nouns.
It's a noun. The verb by itself is a bridge.
Yes, the verb. Yes, the bridge.
That's correct. So let's add that information. I like the way you said it. Uh, yeah, I like the way you said it. Transitive verbs work by itself.
Okay.
Let me copy that over here.
First.
Work by itself. Intransitive verbs depend on a noun to work. We're going to use two examples. So before we continue with the next word, I want to check if Jessie that she arrived. I want to know if you checked yesterday's class. Jessie, did you check yesterday's class? Because we depend on yesterday's class.
Not really, teacher.
Jessica Solis.
Sorry.
Jessica Solis. I was going to be super surprised to hear the contrary. So for you, Jessie, we are going to say exactly what Jamil was saying. We are learning the difference between transitives and intransitives, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Jamil was saying that a transitive verb works by itself. An intransitive verb depends on a noun. It means that if you have, let's imagine the word she ran. Is this a complete idea or an incomplete idea?
Complete.
Uh-huh. You can understand what she did, and you can understand that this is complete. We probably need a complement, probably I need more stories, but this idea is technically complete, right?
Yes.
On the opposite side, we have the word, for example, I have. Is this complete or incomplete?
Incomplete.
That sounds incomplete, right? This is because intransitive verbs need a noun to work, depend on a noun to work. Do you understand the word depend? Right? It needs a noun to work. Noun color blue. So the correct example in this case needs to be I have a new puppy. Ah, okay, now this is complete. We have a new puppy, which is the color blue, and the word, the verb, that is complementing the idea. This is correct. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So the transitive verb is helping, the transitive verb is working as a complete idea. It's a complete verb that gives you the complete information. And then the intransitive verb needs more information to work correctly. If you don't have this information, then the information is incomplete. That's the importance about transitive versus intransitive. Now, if you need another information, you need to connect. Transitive verbs work as a bridge. Do you know what is a bridge, Jesse?
Yes.
Well, transitive verbs work as a bridge to the next word. I don't remember that the thing that my mom told me this morning. The transitive verbs work as a bridge to the next word, and it's not necessary to connect. Intransitive verbs need the bridge, and this bridge is a connector. Do you understand now?
Not really. I am because in the example it's same. I remember.
Sorry, can you repeat? You are having connection problems.
Okay, I am on my way.
Okay.
So not really because the example is the same verb. Remember?
No. Look at the
Okay.
colors.
Uh-huh.
I am. The example
Okay.
wasn't
Yes.
told and said.
Yes. The verb is green.
Do you see it now?
Yes.
That's the difference. So we are talking about the way these words work in relation to the noun. The way a verb works when there is a noun after it. And what is the correct form to use it. You see? In this case, Yamil was detecting if the verb in the example is transitive or intransitive. And why? Is it working by itself? Or is it working with another word? Is it working with another word with a connector, or there is no connector on the sentence? It's in this moment we are super observing the examples, observing with attention. Okay?
Okay.
Your turn, yes, Isolis. Is this word transitive or intransitive, and why?
Is okay. I forgot. I forget. I forgot the definition. But got or get a it's a noun or a connector. So I think it's intransitive, right?
Intransitive, incorrect. The intransitive words need a connector.
Okay. The transitive needs a connector.
Aha.
Okay.
No, no,
Okay.
no. Opposite.
Intransitive.
Intransitive, because transitive is transition. Aha. And with
Uh-huh.
transition, I mean that this is a bridge. It's a bridge to the next word.
Okay.
You see?
Okay.
And intransitive means that there is no transition, and for that reason, you need a connector.
Okay.
You see?
Is intransitive
It's intransitive. Why?
because we need a connector.
What is
Yes.
a connector?
Um.
Incorrect. A is not a connector. The
It's
word
an
a,
okay.
and the are articles,
Mm-hmm.
and these go directly together with the noun. You see? In previous example, if you saw yesterday's class, Jessica Solis, you would see that the article goes together with the noun, is technically considered part of the noun together. Do you see what I mean? These two words go together. The a
Mm-hmm.
are the article, the possessive, or words like this, that, and the possessives like my, your, etc. They are part of the noun. They work together. You see? So therefore, is there a connector here?
No. No.
No. And because it's no connector, the verb is
Transitive.
can you repeat?
Transitive.
Yes, correct. The verb is transitive because we don't need a connector. Boom, bada bing, bada boom, easy peasy. Yes or no?
Yes.
I know, it's confusing, but this is the correct form to say it. Okay, so we are considering this information is from previous class. Talking about words that go together, you know? Now that we are talking about words that go together, we are going to talk about a new color that you need to consider in your study. Color brown. Introduction to cookies and groups of words. In the previous class, we saw that we need to think in groups of words, but we need to think in groups of words with a specific strategy. Okay? Welcome to the strategy of the cookie. I like to name it the strategy of the cookie. Why cookies? Strategy. Strategy of cookies. And I call it the name of the strategy of cookies because in English, this cookie, this is a choco chunk cookie. And by definition, a chunk is a thick, solid piece that has been cut or broken off something. This is a difficult word, so with a picture, it will be much more clear. For example, a chunk of cheese. This is a chunk of cheese. It's not a piece, it's not a section, it is a chunk. Chunk of ice. This is a chunk of ice. It's not a cube and it's not a piece. Again, it's a chunk of ice. A chunk of hair. This is a chunk of hair. When you go to the stylist, you can see a lot of chunks of hair on the floor. Do you understand the word chunk?
Yes.
Well, a chocolate chunk is literally called chocolate chunk because it's a chunk of the full dough. If you have a massive bowl of dough, you will take a chunk and make a bowl to cook cookies. That's the reason they are called chocolate chunk. And of course, When you are cooking cookies, this is a perfect metaphor for the language. Because in English, there are a lot of words that usually go together and you need to learn them by piece, by chunks. For example, look at this. Hello, baby girl. Can you tell me some of the most common language chunks that an ESL learner learns? Look at this. One of the most common. This is, I'm going to, this is, one of the most common chunks. I'm going to, what are you going to do this weekend? I'm going to, okay, and later I'm going to. And these students, when you started, you learned this vocabulary by group. You never stopped to analyze word by word. You only copied all the information. Another very common that I usually tell the students, or a lot of students learn, is the, may I go to the bathroom? A lot of students, no matter how little English they know, a lot of students know how to say, may I go to the bathroom? That is so common. Technically, they learn it by like a very long word, you know? Another very popular chunk is, for example, the word, how old are you? Why, how old are you? In Spanish, we say, ¿cuántos años tienes? Pero no importa qué tan poquito inglés tenga un alumno, no importando qué tan iniciante esté en el idioma, se van a saber how old are you sin analizar la oración. Analizándola, te vas a dar cuenta de que en inglés no preguntamos cuántos años tienes, sino qué tan viejo eres. Pero sin haberlo analizado, lo dicen bien, how old are you? Porque sacaron ese pedazo del lenguaje y lo aprendieron así junto. Do you understand my point with a chunk? Or not?
Yes and no.
Yes
Mm.
and no. Interesting. Tell me about it.
Well, I understand what is chunk. Um, the use that we do or we make in the group of words. But I don't know where we are going to arrive. But um,
Where you don't know where I'm going?
where
Don't
we
worry.
are going.
Don't worry about that. This is my next move.
Okay.
First, I need you to understand how you learned this information. You learned
Okay.
you learned in the past to say, I'm gonna, or I'm going, may I go to the bathroom, or how old are you? Without analyzing word by word and without Spanish. You see? Technically, you learned this information by chunks. Starting in B1, you need to learn a lot of chunks for B1 and B2 to avoid mistakes. For example, one of the most common is the word depend. How do you say in English? Mi nivel de inglés depende de mi práctica. Who wants to try?
I could try. My English level depends about my practice.
My English level depends about my practice. Okay, that was Yamil. Who else wants to try? Do you agree with Yamil, Jessica's more, or would you like to give another idea?
I only will change the word about
Okay.
for mm, my English level depends of my practice
Of my practice.
or from my
That's
practice.
of
Mm,
or for my practice.
From
Okay. Okay, and what about okay, we have Jesse Solis disappeared. Anyway, um, hello Itzel. By the way, good night. I saw you coming. Are you there, Itzel? Can you participate? Okay, in a minute we check. But we have these proposals, no? My English level depends about, my English level depends of, depends for, and then I know that you're gonna say, Jesus Christ, the connectors are always a problem for me. Don't worry, it's not only you. Many students don't know how to observe the language in order to see the cookies. If you open the dictionary and you look for the word depend, you are going to see that we always have the connector on together with the word depend. So we always say not depend about, and not depend off, and not depend for. We use depend on. Therefore, when you are talking in English, the correct form to say mi nivel de inglés depende de mi práctica, the correct form is to say my English level anyone? My English level.
Depends on my practice.
Exactly. And this is the correct one. You see? This is the importance of learning words by cookies. Because if you think in Spanish, en español, vas a ver el conector de. Y la primera traducción que tienes en tu mente de es of. Tal vez about. Y entonces al momento de ponerla con otra palabra, vas a querer decir about the of. De cada una de las palabras que te aprendas, debes de aprenderte también con qué combinaciones vienen. So, we are going to learn how to observe, examples, to learn with the cookie method. Yesterday, we were talking about the verb keep. The verb keep is a transitive verb. And in B1, we were talking about the verb secret. When you keep a secret, when you don't want people to know. Right? In the verb keep a secret, the example reads like this. This is a transitive verb. Keep a secret. And then you have in parentheses the word from somebody. This means that when you are using the connector from, you are going to connect the person that won't know the information because you are keeping a secret. For example, she kept her past secret from us all. Connector from. Question: who didn't know the secret in the second example? Who didn't know the secret?
We.
Exactly. In the second example, we didn't know the secret. If you think about this sentence in Spanish, you will think it will be very difficult to identify what is the correct connector in English. En Spanish, ella se guardó el secreto de nosotros. Ese de, si lo traducimos a of, está mal y directamente se va a los puntos del examen final. Ahí es donde empiezan a quitar puntos, cuando los conectores no combinan con el verbo que usaste. Entonces, aparte de aprenderte los verbos y aparte de presentártelos en pasados y participios, te tienes que aprender las combinaciones correctas. Y todo se hace, you do all of this with the dictionary. The dictionary will tell you the correct cookie. Questions.
So this, let's say, this, I also forget, connector. We need to apply this in all the verbs, or only in transitive?
Especially transitive verbs. No, actually, intransitive too. You know? Check this out. Check this out. Depend on is another. If you see the word look, we have the verb look, no? Only look is a transitive verb to say appearance. Wow, you look good. I know it's a linking verb for the description. Wow, you look very good today. Ah, perfect, thank you. Okay, to turn your eyes, no? And then you see this. Look at somebody. Okay. When I see the person, I look at the person. Do you see? In Spanish, ella me vio y sonrió. Ni siquiera tenemos un conector en español. Por eso en inglés cometemos errores con el verbo look. And it's a one, eh? What about the next one? When look is similar to search, you need the connector for. And this is not a phrasal verb, eh? This is the same word. This is not a phrasal verb. This is only a cookie. Another verb. And this is intransitive, you see? So if you need to connect the next noun, you need the correct preposition. How do you say, for example, estaba distraído pensando en... Estaba distraído pensando en el partido. How do you say that in English? Who can tell me? Think about it. Think while I open the door. Very odd. Estaba pensando en el partido. How do you say that in English?
How do you say partido?
The football match.
Okay. I was thinking about football match.
About football match. A specific football match?
What? Sorry?
How do you say el las, los las in English?
The.
The. So complete. What were you thinking about?
Sorry. I was thinking about the football match.
Exactly. You know this cookie, you see? This cookie is not a problem for you. We have the word
So think about.
think about. Exactly. Think about something. I can tell you now. You see, this is intransitive. But if you say think the thing to do, think to, you need a verb do or another verb. Who would have thought to find you here? Do you understand that one? I couldn't think to find you here. In this case, you are using a simple verb, and it's another cookie. So all the verbs that you know should go together with a particular connector. And I am going to teach you, now that I show you how to detect the correct cookie, I am going to give you very common examples for you to study. look at this list. I'm going to let you, I'm gonna give you this information as homework for you to read, be familiar with it, get familiar with them, and tomorrow we are going to learn a lot of them. Check also if the verbs are transitive or intransitive, and investigate the words that are new for you, the words that you don't know. Okay? Take a note, and we finished for today. Okay?
Okay, teacher. So,
Perfect, guys.
okay.
Yes. What's up?
No. Could could we have a verb transitive and intransitive at the same time? The
Yes.
verb could be okay. And because
This
think
is tomorrow's topic because
okay.
we didn't have time for that.
Yes, it's
But
okay.
this is the next part.
Okay,
Okay?
perfect.
Don't you worry
Thank
about
you.
that. Tomorrow's class. Okay, we finished for today and we have Itzel in the class. Me voy a quedar con Itzel un ratito para conocerla porque llegamos un poquito tarde para checar su nivel y pues hablarle del sistema. Mientras tanto, terminamos por hoy. Nos vemos el día de mañana. All right?
Okay, good night.
See you later. Good
Perfect. See
night,
you
guys.
tomorrow. Thank you.
See
Good
you
night.
tomorrow.